Hey, could you turn off? You just have to wait for the heater to turn off. It's very, very cold.
It's not that cold.
Very, very
Listen, I'm sensitive to cold. It's not that cold. Jamie, you've been cold like...
every day.
It's
all
funny.
Day.
Fun fact. Jamie was like, I want to buy an old house with character.
I do.
We did that.
We did
Guess
that.
what also comes with an old house with character?
Drafts.
In Canada.
Coldness.
Impossible to heat.
It's not impossible to heat.
In the summer, ding dong.
Wolf pack. We're part of the wolf pack. Oh!
Tim Chuan, go check him out.
Tim Chewin. Go check him out.
I always say his name wrong.
Yeah.
Chewin.
Chewin.
Like chewing food.
Yeah.
Not chew on.
Like chewing gum. Hello everyone and welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
board games.
And
board gamey things.
Exactly. We just got back from sunny California and we came back to snow and cold Nova Scotia.
We came back. We left and winter hadn't quite hit yet.
Yeah.
We came back and it is hit.
It's hit. And you want to know what the funniest part about that is? Is that when we were in California, I was complaining that I was cold.
Yeah.
Because I was cold.
Yeah. And
now I'm much colder.
Perspective is important.
Perspective is important. We didn't end up vlogging our California trip. I did my best.
Hate to say I told you so.
I did my best, but we didn't do it because we were just living in the moment. But we went to Disney.
This happens every time, though.
Whatever. We went to Disneyland. We got to visit with a bunch of our board game friends, and you know there might be something coming. Not here on this channel, but on another channel.
Keep your eyes peeled.
This might be
what does that phrase mean? Keep your eyes peeled.
Like peel
back?
up your lids.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
Like a banana.
Yeah.
The eyes are the bananas of the face.
You want to keep this snappy.
Oh yeah. We just came back from a little board game vacation, only to turn around literally next week to go on another board game vacation.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be working while we're there, but...
Well, still.
Vacation's a loose term, I guess.
Yeah, a board game vacation. There's some days that I'm not working. The convention days. Basically, what we're trying to say is that we're going to PAX Unplugged. So there was a list that was released of some games that are coming to PAX Unplugged. Obviously, there's going to be a ton more that aren't on that list, but we wanted to talk about some of the games that we are most excited for that are going to be at PAX Unplugged. Jeff, tell them the caveats.
Yeah, a couple of them. One, we tried to pick games that we haven't talked a ton about, because there are some games that we're super excited about, but we either talked about them on the channel before.
We already got them on order.
Or we have them on order, all of these things.
Septima.
Yeah, Septima being one.
Yeah.
So you won't see Septima mentioned here, even though it just was.
It just was.
I've included 5 honorable mentions.
Yeah, me too.
That's the only real caveat.
That's the only caveat. Yeah. So we each have a list of 5 games that we're really excited for. So number one thing, yes, we are going to PAX Unplugged. We're going to the full thing, all of the days, every single one of them. So if you are going and you are interested in chatting with us or meeting us, we are actually going to be having a Discord meetup. So if you want more details about how to join the Discord meetup, you should join the Discord.
You should.
You should. And we're going to be combining our meetup with our friends from Table Knots. So if you want to hang out with us and you want to hang out with Table Knots, then go check out the Discord in the conventions channel. We may even make a separate thread specifically for PAX Unplugged because there's a lot of people going.
Some of our Discord members had mentioned it's a good opportunity for other people to meet.
Yes.
Because there's a ton of gaming that can happen. So to meet some other people to game with and facilitate that meetup, I think was important to us. So
exactly. If you're going by yourself, you don't need to worry because if you come to the meetup, you're going to meet a bunch of friends.
A bunch of gamers.
Yeah, so we're going to do that on the Friday evening. Ready, Jeffrey?
Yep.
Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay. And I don't think we don't have any overlap.
So we're going to start with honorable mentions, or are we doing that at the end?
Oh, we'll do honorable mentions at the end.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, my first game is actually one of 2 from the same publisher.
Ooh la la.
And that publisher is Capstone Games. And the first game I'm excited to see at PAXU from Capstone Games is a fun little game called Fire and Stone Siege of Vienna 1683.
Oh.
Can you guess what kind of game that is?
What a name. Is it a train game?
It's a war game.
No.
And
I just assumed because it had a year in it that it was trains.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, like 18XX.
Gotcha.
But it's
16XX games?
Yeah.
Didn't know that was a a thing, but apparently it is.
Yeah.
I don't know a ton about this game. I know it's a war game, and I know that it is event-based, card-based, kind of similar. I know it's not a coin series game, but I'm going to reference coin, but it's a war game, and I'm super excited. I don't know how much you're going to like it, but given that we keep playing these games that you've been enjoying, like Cuba.
Yeah, I do like
Like
games.
Shores of Tripoli.
Yes.
I think this is another one we can add to that repertoire. This was one that I was actually excited to find out about a few months ago, actually. I had no idea that this game was going to be at PAX. I'm very excited to check it out and see what it's all about. Fire and Stone, Siege of Vienna, 1683 from Capstone Games.
16XX, look it up. Last year, my most anticipated game for PAX Unplugged was Familiar Tales from
Yes,
Plaid
it
Hat
was.
Games.
That is correct.
This year, my most anticipated game is another Plaid Hat Games, and it is called Hickory Dickory. And guess what? It's a friggin' adorable game with cute mice, because that's classic Plaid Hat.
Yep.
And here's like the little blurby about it. Mice compete in a royal scavenger hunt inside a cuckoo clock.
I mean,
The art, adorable. Okay, it says players control a team of mice competing in a royal scavenger hunt hosted by Lord Cuckoo, like a cuckoo clock. Okay, the mice will ride on the cuckoo clock's minute hand, tick, 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 as they search for items that match their card hunt. The adorable mice, they made sure to say adorable, so I already love it. The adorable mice will jump off the hand, collect item tiles, and perform various actions that will help them gain berries, aka victory points. The victory points are berries, and the mice are in the clock. There's
That's
nothing
pretty cool.
about this that I don't like.
Hickory Dickory Dock.
Hickory Dickory Dock, the most mice run
Right
up the clock. It's a nursery rhyme. I'm excited. I love Plaid Hat Games. They have yet to disappoint me.
It's true. Can I tell you something I'm very upset with you about?
Why?
You let me go through Fire and Stone with nothing.
Yeah.
No BGG, no nothing.
Oh, why is it my fault?
And then all of a sudden you're like pulling. I didn't know we were pulling out BGG, otherwise I would have.
Now you know.
You make me look like a dummy.
Look like an idiot, dummy. Oh my God, Jeff. Look at this. I have the hiccups, but look at it. Oh no.
If it wasn't on your list, it was going to be on my list.
That's for sure.
I mean, we love Plaid Hat Games.
We love Plaid Hat Games.
Next game up for me is the second on the Capstone Games list.
Is it the beer one? Bread and beer?
It is not.
Okay.
I probably could have filled this list with Capstone Games
they have
games.
quite a few on here.
There's a lot that I'm super excited to see, but I only grabbed a couple to keep it diverse. And that game is called Rise. And that's it's a city building game. In Jamie's vein, I'm going to kind of read a little blurb that Jamie's immediately going to roll her eyes about and just go bleh. But let me just read the first thing here. In Rise, you assume responsibility for the economic and social development of a city.
Economics.
The game revolves around 10 tracks on which you move your markers to gain further effects and gather influence. The unique and innovative card mechanism, which includes events and tough decisions, will change your decision making from round to round. I love city builders.
Yeah.
I think they're very, very, very cool. It gives me a little bit of like Tapestry vibes.
Okay.
With the tracks and stuff.
I like Tapestry.
But with some more card play, perhaps. I could be way off track. It was kind of hand in hand when I discovered Fire and Stone. I think they were both kind of mentioned at the same time, and I've been excited since. So,
you know what Rise makes me think of? What We Do in the Shadows, which is like my new favorite TV show. Remember when the computer falls asleep and Nandor's like, "Where's the Rise button?"
Yeah.
Rise! If you don't watch that show, you should. The next one on my list is from Mind Clash Games, and it is a game called Astra. Now, we recently played our first Mind Clash game, which was Anachrony. I think this one is kind of more down a level in the same vein as like Septima, a little bit more of a welcoming Mind Clash game, because Mind Clash games are pretty complex.
Yep.
I loved Anachrony though, so I would be perfectly fine if this was also complex. Here's what this one says. It's about like astrology. So it says, you and your fellow players are eager and curious astronomers determined to explore and understand the constellations of the mysterious night sky. Astra is a clever mix of tactics and strategy with a streamlined and intuitive rule set that makes it easy to pick up and quick to play. It consists of continuous player turns until a certain number of constellation cards are taken, when, after an endgame scoring, the player with the most fame points wins. So basically, this is a game about astrology. We're all playing at the same time. You are an astronomer, and it looks pretty unique. It looks different, and I like the theme. And
it's definitely, just based off of your description, it sounds a bit different than what Mind Clash normally does. So
yeah,
that will be interesting.
Like even this part, it says the observe action allows you to spend stardust to discover stars on the constellation cards using a dry erase marker. So you're like actually like mapping out constellations.
I gotcha.
So it just feels different, like the fact that you're actually like.
You are
it's like an activity within a game.
You are thematically like looking for constellations and mapping
them out.
That's pretty cool.
So the theme is really cool. I'm not huge into astrology. I know that I'm a Taurus, and I know that Jeff is a Cancer. That's about all I know.
She throws it in my face all the time.
Jeff is such a Cancer.
I really am. Every time she throws up those
It's probably the most accurate thing I've ever read about Jeff. Cancer. Enneagram 2. Those are both pretty accurate.
Feel my feels, you know?
He feels all of his feelings. I think it looks really cool. I feel like I trust Mind Clash to put out a good game.
Yeah, I
want to try all of their games.
We've only played Anachrony, but we fell in love with Anachrony.
Oh my god, that game is amazing. And then we also have Septima on order, so that's why that one's not on the list. But that is Astra. Next
up for me has actually been mentioned in, I can't remember if I mentioned it in a upcoming Kickstarter video, but it's been mentioned on the channel before. And that game is from Lynn Vander Studios, I believe. And that is called Snapships Tactics.
Okay, yeah, I saw that on the list.
Do you remember us talking about this game?
No.
I can't remember if we talked it on a video, if I talked about someone in our Discord. So, with that in mind, Snapships Tactics is basically
that is a
like
tongue twister.
It is.
Say it 3 times.
I screwed up right off the bat. Snapships Tactics. Snapships Tactics. Snapships Tactics. I said shit. I believe it's a bit of a skirmish game, but what's really cool is you get to build your ships.
Yeah.
Like, they snap together like Legos.
Oh, I do
remember. There's a bunch of variability. The one thing I will mention, to be completely upfront and honest, I looked this up to back it, and it was pricey.
Oh.
And I was a little bit...
like a toy.
I was a little bit concerned about replayability and that sort of thing, but I'm very, very interested to see it live.
Is it like a game of Lego that you can just play over and over again?
There's a ton of ships, but it's super pricey. But I'm basically like combining 2 of my favorite things, which is Lego and board games.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that when I go to PAX and hopefully get a chance to check this out, it might persuade me a bit more, because I feel like this is a prime candidate to not back and regret.
Yeah.
Snapships Tactics from Lynn Vander. I can't read my own writing. Lynn Vander or Lynn Vender. It's really, really, really cool. If you like Lego and you like board games, go check it out. I'm super excited to see what it's like at PAX.
I can picture Jeff sitting down at a table, clicking one ship together and being like...
Yeah, but that's it. Like, you get to build your ship and play with the ships you've built.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. All right, my next game, it's a card game from WizKids, and it is called Featherlight. I am going to put the box on the screen so you can see how ridiculously adorable this chonky little bird is.
It looks like a bird frog.
No, look at it. It's like...
Oh, okay, that's blown up. It's a bit different.
Yeah, it's so cute and weird.
It is a bit weird.
I love it. Okay, so this is like a light card game, and it's hand management set collection, and I think, yes, you can play it solo. It's 1 to 4 players. So... Polly the Potu bird has fallen out of his nest. Slightly dizzy, Polly regains consciousness on the floor, surrounded by masses of shimmering feathers. All of his feathers fell out. In Featherlight, you help Polly put his collection of feathers back in order, ideally scoring more for your assistance than anyone else. You're basically just helping the bird collect his feathers in sets. So obviously it says it's hand management set collection, and you can also play it as a solo solitaire game. It looks really cute.
Did the solo piece sell you a bit more?
A little bit, yeah, because like...
That definitely looks like a game you would play solo.
The art is so pretty. Like, I love it.
The looks of that bird kill me, though.
I love him. WizKids does some card games that we really enjoy, including Fantasy Realms is a big one. So I'm excited for this. I think it looks cute. I think, like, honestly, at the end of the day, some of my favorite games are just quick card games. Like, quick, easy card games.
I don't think you pay enough attention to that. I think sometimes when we're talking about your favorite games and stuff, those get swept under the rug a bit
Yeah,
for you.
because they're
but
so
like,
little.
You're always
That's what I always
gravitate towards those. Yeah.
Yeah, because I just feel like you can play them with anyone, and this one does not look complicated. So, Featherlight from WizKids is one I am keeping my eyes on, looking for Polly the Potu bird.
Cool.
I thought it was a potato bird, but it wasn't.
Next up for me is one that actually was we knew about this game. We almost got an opportunity to play this game when we were in PEI visiting Rodney. It just didn't hit the table. And then we get to talk with some fellow creators about this game recently, and that is from Le Scorpion Mask Turing Machine.
Oh, that's on my honorable mentions list.
Yeah. So I knew about this game. I think it's been kind of like out there for a while.
I think it got really big at Gen Con. That's when people started talking about it.
So we almost played this with Rodney. It just didn't hit the table. And then when we were in California, some other fellow creators were talking about this game and completely sold me on it.
Yeah, same.
And I got super excited about it. Then we started doing research about PAX and saw that they're going to have this at PAX.
I've heard limited copies.
Limited copies.
Run.
I mean, I don't know.
Flop.
I don't know if I'll end up getting a copy of this. Is kind of not the point, but I'm really excited to see it because I think it's a social deduction game that we would enjoy. I don't even know, social deduction is probably not the right term.
A code breaking game.
Yeah,
it
like
says
decrypto.
Crack codes using a real analog computer.
So people were describing this as like you kind of have to deduce these things, and then you actually like submit it to the Turing machine, and it tells you whether or not you're right. And it sounds really, really interesting.
Puzzle.
Yeah, it's like a logic puzzle. And I fell in love with this stuff kind of playing through
the initiative.
And so I'm really excited to explore more of that. And apparently it plays good at 2.
And 1.
I think that's really, really interesting. That's a really interesting add to our collection. Playing a code breaking game at 1. I think that might be the way I get into solo
it's like
gaming.
doing a Sudoku.
Yeah. So anyway, that is Turing Machine. Super excited to see it. The box is also incredible. I love that like recessed writing. Yeah. Anyway.
My next game is from Game Right. And it just looks so silly and fun, as most Game Right games are. It's called Loose Caboose, okay? And so basically you're laying down tracks to stay ahead of a free rolling caboose. You got a loose caboose, and you got to keep it on track. So basically it's dice rolling, hand management, network and route building, push your luck, set collection, tile placement. All of my favorite things. Lay down and number track cards in loose caboose in a race to keep the caboose from going off the rails. The higher the number, the more dice you must roll to move the caboose. Don't let the train derail, or else you'll pick up penalty points. End with the lowest score and you've engineered a win.
I like that.
This game just looks like silly, silly fun. And I want to play it because I like to say loose caboose.
Do you know I love that how you have to build those things out. It reminds me a little bit of Subterra.
Yeah.
But a different theme.
Yeah.
I love playing those tiles out like endlessly.
But it's also going to be like you're under a pressure cooker because you're rolling. So you're building out the track and then you're rolling dice. So the caboose is moving and you don't know how far it's going to move. And so you need to, and it's push your luck. So you need to decide like, when do I stop? Like, I don't want the caboose to go off the rails. It's loose.
That's cool.
Loose caboose.
Last one up for me has definitely been mentioned on this channel before. Ages ago.
Ouch.
I don't know if it's been released yet or if it's coming up or whatever. That is from Third World Studios.
Oh, yeah.
And that is Stuff of Legend.
This game. And the reason why, because this was at PAX last year.
Correct. And
we didn't end up backing this game. We really, really wanted to, but it's a minimum 3 players. And now we have a group. It's like the stuffed animals going through like the nightmare. And I'm pretty sure there's an app. It's based on a comic book. And it's like really creepy because there's like creepy clown toys in it. Boys and girls of every age, don't you feel like something strange? Oh, while we take this moment to pause, here is a question I'll throw out to the greater population. A Nightmare Before Christmas. Is it A, a Halloween movie, or B, a Christmas movie? I know it's technically both, but if you had to choose one, in the comments below, write A for Halloween or B for Christmas. I know what's right, but Sam from Lord of the Board believes he knows what's right. But he does.
Sam, I think, was unpopular opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I want to hear what your opinion is. A, Halloween, B, Christmas.
Can I be honest with you?
You've never seen it?
I've never
I know,
watched that
it makes
movie.
me sick to my stomach.
I think I'd like to, though.
You should.
Stuff of Legend is a kind of dark twist on, like, stuffed animals, basically. You're all playing as one of this boy's stuffed toys, and you're trying to save him from the boogeyman.
Yes.
Cooperative hand management, like, I don't want to say scenario, but kind of like adventure.
Yeah, adventure game.
Deduction. And I think you mentioned it's based on a comic book. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but
it is.
It's the theme is the thing that I love the most about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of, like, cute games that also rip into that, like, horror-esque theme.
It's like
an
intense version of Stuffed Fables.
Yeah. It's one we've been excited for almost a year.
Over a year
or
now.
so now. And I want to check it out again. And hopefully I'm able to get our hands on a copy because I think it's one that we would absolutely fall in love with.
Yeah.
And now that we have the ability to play it at the proper player count with people around, it's definitely one that I'm very, very excited to add.
Moving here has opened up doors.
Yep. That's it for me. That's my 5.
My number 5 is actually going to be, I think, one of your one of your honorable mentions. That is Wild Gardens from Rose Gauntlet. Now, Jeff has played this game, but I have not played this game.
I played a very early prototype version of this game. So I don't know if it's changed. All I know is that it was very good. Wild
Gardens is a strategy game about the delightful world of foraging. In Wild Gardens, you and your friends will explore the incredible hobby of foraging. Compete to gain points by foraging wild ingredients, cooking delicious meals, and serving interesting guests. You're growing your skills. The game is won by having the most point at the end of the 3 rounds. And basically it looks very, not just cute, but it looks pretty. And the theme to me feels like both familiar yet different.
I will say, this is not a theme that in any world would catch me.
Exactly, it's cooking.
But I played it and really enjoyed it. I'm excited to see what they've come up with for the final version. Because again, it was a very early prototype of the game. And it's by Isaac Vega, who does some awesome stuff. So, yeah, super excited.
I'm very, very excited. It just looks so pretty.
I kind of jumped in there because it's one of my honorable mentions. So
yeah, so that's an
kind of
honorable mention from Jeff. So that is my number 5. Now, we do have some honorable mentions, and actually, we're each going to have probably 4 because you said one of mine, which is Turing Machine.
Okay.
And I said one of yours, which was Wild Gardens.
I'm just going to go quickly through mine. I'm not going to talk more about, because most of these we've talked about. So you can go check out videos that we've chatted these games up on. First up is Incredible Dream, Kinfire Chronicles. We did some content on this with Kavre. So go check out their channel. Check out what we've mentioned about this game.
I'll link it below if I remember.
It's a campaign game. It's beautiful. Super excited to see the, I guess, final version of this. Next up is Ahoy from Leader Games. You know I love Leader Games. I absolutely adored Ahoy. Got to play it again with Kavre. Super Pinball Star Trek. Let's friggin' go.
We love Super Pinball. Ramp it up.
Super Pinball is such a good roll and write. I love it, and I love Star Trek. And I believe it's next gen Star Trek that they're doing, because I'm pretty sure Picard is on the game. That's from WizKids. If you haven't played Super Pinball, Ramp It Up, or Super Pinball, and you're into roll and writes, check it out.
Check it out.
The last one for me is Marvel Remix, also from WizKids, which we've played. We got to play that early with Rodney, and it is a take on Fantasy Realms, but Marvel themed. I really enjoyed it. I think you were a bit lukewarm on it because
I love Fantasy Realms.
You love Fantasy Realms. I also think I do prefer Fantasy Realms, but I don't know if that's because we just have played Fantasy Realms more.
Yeah, this one adds an extra element with the villain, so there's a little bit more depth to it, I would say.
There's definitely more strategy. I really enjoyed it. I want to play it more. I'm excited to check it out.
My honorable mentions, I actually do have 5 because I wrote down more than 5. So anyways,
so 6.
The first one is called Four Humors, and I just need to, like, this game looks so weird in the best possible way. Just let me read the tagline. Medieval pharmacists influence the kingdom with bluffing and deduction. Medieval pharmacists. And like
potion permit.
The 4 humors are yellow bile, red blood, black bile, and white phlegm, but they have like, you know, different names, like actual scientific names for them.
Choleric.
It just looks weird.
That is weird.
It looks weird, yet cute. It's from Adam's Apple Games, which I've never heard of before, but I saw the cover and it immediately made me look at it and be like, what is this game?
The art's pretty neat.
It's neat, yeah. So I'm really excited to check that out because I just don't know what to expect.
That's go down. Your personality is determined by an imbalance of your bodily fluids, aka the 4 humors.
That's what I said, yeah. Yellow bile, you're goal-oriented, decisive, and ambitious. I must have a lot of yellow bile.
That's an interesting one.
Okay, so that's the first one.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Acid reflux.
Exactly. The next one is Fantasy Realms Deluxe Edition.
Mm-hmm. I knew you were going to pick that one.
I just said it. I love Fantasy Realms. That's from WizKids. And apparently now there's a deluxe edition. I don't know what it means, but I want it.
I feel like they upgraded the art and stuff.
Hopefully.
Maybe added some new cards. I'm not sure.
I have no idea. But Fantasy Realms is a game that we just freaking love so much.
Yep.
I also have a twofer. They're from the same designer and they're different. They're very like puzzly kind of games. Mm-hmm. One is called The Light in the Mist and the other is called The Emerald Flame from Post Curious. And I'm actually surprised, Jeffrey, that you didn't. Anyways, they're puzzling journey
That would
games.
be why.
Why?
You know I'm not super good at puzzling stuff out, so that's probably why I moved on.
So like
it looks really cool.
The tagline for The Light in the Mist is a tarot deck leads you on a puzzling journey to find a missing friend. It just sounds kind of, I don't know, it sounds like a cool story.
I kind of regret not picking that one because it does sound really cool.
And the artwork on both of them looks amazing. Also, I have Super Skill Pinball Holiday Edition.
It's the holiday movies, right?
Holiday movies. There's Elf, Christmas Story, and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation on the cover.
I mean,
that's the trifecta right there. So, like Jeff just said, we love Super Skill Pinball.
Give me some more themes.
Put Buddy the Elf on it. You better freaking believe that I want that.
That's
game.
Jamie's favorite movie of all time.
It's my favorite movie
of all time. Not Christmas. All time.
Of all time. I love it. I've seen it a jillion times. And then the very last one, which actually wasn't on the GG list, which I will link in the description if you want to look at all the games that are coming up.
I was like, what? Oh, the PAX list.
There's a BGG list of the PAX games. Yeah. Anyways, it's Fit to Print from Flat Out Games, which I just assume is going to be there because this came out around like Gen Con and everybody was talking about it.
Let's be clear. We don't know if it's going to be there.
We don't know, but I'm assuming that it will.
We're making an assumption.
Yes, I'm making an
So if it's not, if you hear this and then you go and it's not there, don't come back and be like, hey, what?
That's not on me. Yeah. Anyways, I really hope it's there because it looks really cool and cute and
that one's been mentioned to you a bunch too.
And Maple Valley, of course. I hope that's there.
Maple Valley is going to be there.
Well, I'm excited for that. So those are some of the games that we are excited for. There's a ton more. Check out the list. It was actually, for me, pretty hard to narrow down this list. I had a ton.
And there's obviously stuff not listed.
Yeah, there's going to be so much more there as well. So let us know.
Are they going to have Frosthaven there? Probably.
Oh, geez. People will be throwing elbows for that one. Let us know down below 2 things. Number 1, is Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie? A for Halloween, B for Christmas. And number 2...
Or just write what you... Don't do A and B because then I'll have to be like, what does that mean?
Yeah, that's fine. Just write what you think.
Just write Christmas or Halloween.
And then let us know if you're coming to PAX Unplugged. And if you want to chat with us and hang out Friday evening, details will be in the Discord.
And even if you don't feel comfortable with that environment and you see us on the floor,
please say hi.
Please say hi. It's going to be super busy for us.
Yep.
But always feel free to come approach and say hi, hello, introduce yourself, and we'll chat as much as we can.
I don't know what hat Jeff will be wearing, but maybe this one. It's easy to find you in this one. Or the yellow one. Jeff will be wearing
I'll be wearing this or the yellow one. I don't know.
We look like this in real life, so you can find us pretty easily.
And you'll probably hear us bickering.
That's true. If you're interested in buying board games, now not these ones because they're not quite out yet, but you can get these hopefully
when
at PAX. When they do come out, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that is...
the Boardroom Game Cafe.
Yes, it is. That's all we have. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see,
please subscribe.
We hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye.
Later days.
Wolfpack. I forget.
Oh, see, Jamie gets the laptop and all the information. I'm going off of like nothing. How fair?
I just needed a little brief summary. Okay, so...
Well, now I'm looking up my next game.
Fine.
Are you good?
Yeah, look at this, Jeff, though. Look at that.
I mean,
come on, then.
Yeah.